Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. Monday, March 16th, 2015. And here are some of today's trends in the news. Remember what happened on Friday? Markets were way down, and it came back up a bit. Today, here in the States, the Dow closed over 225. Gold, cheap, not much of anything. But oil, oil was down over 3%. That's right. Closed down over 2%. West Texas, back to 2009 levels. So, why did the market go up? U.S. stocks traded more than 1% higher on Monday as investors, gamblers, eyed weakness in the dollar and oil prices ahead of Wednesday's key Fed meeting. That makes absolutely no sense at all. Oh yeah, the dollar got a little weaker. Yeah. Well, that's good because maybe the Fed won't raise interest rates. So the Ponzi scheme keeps going. No reason for any of this, but that's what's going on. And as for them oil prices stabilizing will continue to firm up. Saudi advisor. Yep. Oil prices have started to stabilize around $60 a barrel in past weeks and will continue to firm up, while crude demand will grow stronger, an advisor to Saudi Arabia's oil minister said on Sunday. So what? He was one day off. Because when you look at the facts of what's going on, over the weekend, U.S. producers ready new oil wave. The International Energy Agency reinforced the prospects of a prolonged slump in energy prices, saying U.S. oil output was surprisingly strong in February and rapidly filling all available storage tanks. Independent oil shale producers have slashed their planned 2015 spending on drilling by $50 billion, but, and here's the but, have promised to increase production by focusing on their best oil fields. So they got to keep pumping out this stuff no matter what. Yes, they're closing down rigs, but they still have to bring money in. So when you look at the numbers, total U.S. oil production hit a high of 9.4 million barrels a day the week ending March 6th. So there you have it. I think the Saudi advisor may be in for a little mistake over there. The number of oil rigs drilling in the U.S. declined by 56 this week to 866, a 46% drop since early October when oil was traded for about $90 a barrel. So that's why the market's going up. And the other good news why the market's going up? Home builder confidence falls in March again. Despite the start of the busiest housing season and warming weather in much of the nation, U.S. home builders are steadily losing faith in their business. Single-family home construction has been running at an anemic pace, with starts down nearly 7% in January month to month, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Builders' sentiment for current sales fell 3 points to 58. Buyer traffic fell 2 points to 37. And to reinforce it, today's Wall Street Journal. Ire rises at China over glut of steel. China's massive steel-making engine, determined to keep humming as growth cools at home, is flooding the world with exports, spurring steel producers around the globe to seek government protection from falling prices. All right, oil, iron, it doesn't make a difference. They keep pumping it out because they need the money. But the hypocrisy here is that government producers are seeking government protection from falling prices. From the European Union, Korea, India, China's excess metal supply is upending trade patterns and heating up turf battles among local steelmakers. China produces as much steel as the rest of the world combined, more than 4 times the peak U.S. production in the 1970s. So, how about China bringing in all their cheap clothing? And this is Italian. Actually, it's Argentinian. How about all of the cheap product they bring in? So you can see what the story is. They're going to keep flooding the market, and it's our top trend for 2015, price wars. There's too much product and not enough demand. Booming London masks weakness elsewhere in UK. Story about how the housing market in the UK around London is booming, the economy around there is booming, but not so good around much of the rest of the country. The same thing in the USSA. Around the big metropolitan areas, everything is fine. You go out into the outskirts, ain't looking so good. So, the wealth at the top is fueling what looks to be like growth. But it's all concentrated, whether it's in London, or whether it's in LA, whether it's in New York, you name it, it's the same thing around the world. And tiny little Iceland, no longer eager to join the EU. What's the matter with them? They should follow the path of the Ukraine, set by Victoria Nuland. Yeah, they're smart enough up there in Iceland. You know, you got to give them credit. They got through the banking crisis by prosecuting the people that did it. They refused to pay back the dough, and they're doing fine. And remember we said, hey, watch out what's going to happen over the weekend in Brazil. Over 1 million people hit the streets. Yep, Brazil's government will present a package of anti-corruption measures after more than 1 million people, some of them calling for President Rousseff's impeachment, took to the streets on Sunday. Higher taxes and increased prices for government-regulated items like gasoline are rankling Brazilians as the biggest corruption scandal in the nation's history ensnares elected and appointed official. You know the word. Yep. It's the same thing. Things get bad, hit the people with more taxes and make the prices of everything they buy go up. And tomorrow's the election over there in Israel. Netanyahu, if I'm elected, there will be no Palestinian state. That's right. Now, that's not what he said in his speech in 2009, in which he had voiced support for a 2-state solution. I'm in favor of a 1-state solution. Why not? It's my money going over there. I could say something. Yeah. You say you're the most democratic state in the Middle East. Take down those walls, Mr. Netanyahu. Cut out the apartheid. Bring everybody together. How about that? No 2-state solution. All it has been is a 2-bit fraud, and they kept selling this peace process for how many years? So there you go. Big election coming up tomorrow. Who will win? U.S. drone kills 6 in Pakistan-Afghanistan border area. Well, 6 people, including 2 key militant commanders. Don't you love the propaganda? Key militant commanders. Oh, yeah, we know it. Suspected key militant commanders. And those other 6 people, yeah, they're only Pakistan, Afghan, who cares? They're not white. So they don't count. And more foreign policy of the United States and its allies. ISIS militants claim attack on security building in Libya's capital. Yep. militants loyal to the Islamic State claimed to attack a security headquarters in the Libyan capital of Tripoli on Sunday. How's that, Obama, huh? Yeah, we're going to get rid of that Gaddafi, I tell you. Let's destroy the richest country in Africa and turn it into chaos like everything else that the United States does. Excuse me, I forgot the victory in Iraq and the one in Afghanistan. How could I forget? And remember what was going on over the weekend, the last couple of days. Where's Putin? Where's Putin? This is the level of propaganda. Israel's former ambassador to Russia. There are signs of a coup. Israel's former ambassador to Russia, Ziv Magen told Haaretz, he believes, quote, there are many signs of a coup. The movement of the army around the Kremlin indicates that there is a change in government and that an attempt at a change in government is being carried out. This guy is an expert. And they keep putting one of these flunkies out there after another for almost a week. Where's Putin? Every day at a debate. We're the only people that got it right, man. Huh. Here's the proof. I said it Friday. He was with misdeeds. And Ukraine's getting back in the news over there. U.S. tanks, troops arrive in Estonia for joint military drills. Yeah, look at this. U.S. tanks and equipment arrived in Estonia early Saturday to take part in international military exercise, the country's permanent representative to NATO said. And that's only part of it. The U.S. Army says it will be sending armored Stryker vehicles on a 1,100-mile convoy through 6 European countries to show solidarity to its allies. This is reported in Stars and Stripes. Quote, a highly visible demonstration of U.S. commitment to its NATO allies and demonstrating NATO's ability to move military force freely across allied borders in close cooperation, said U.S. Army spokesman Lieutenant Colonel Craig Childs, speaking like a little child. Yeah, because what Putin said when he just got free from misdeeds was that nuclear weapons were ready during Ukraine crisis. In recorded comments made for a documentary on the accession of Crimea into Russian Federation, President Vladimir Putin revealed that he had been readying nuclear arms during the height of the Ukraine crisis. He went on to say that the annexation of Crimea was never considered before the crisis began, but that given a large ethnic majority and its relationship, the Crimean Peninsula had been part of Russia beginning in 1802, he felt it was their right to take the action that they did. So, you're going to stop the Russians, right? This stupid little... How much is this thing costing to go across Europe? All this money being wasted. Look at these photos. Look at the stupidity of it all. Who are they kidding? A lot of people, particularly the congressmen and senators. And, speaking of kidding, Kerry's back. He's making the news. He's making the news. Here it is. Syria conflict. U.S. wants to reignite peace talks, says Kerry. Yeah. He said, one of the worst tragedies any of us has ever seen, and everybody agrees there is no military solution, only a political solution. Gee, that's not what he was saying before. Hey, remember when they all said Assad had to go? Don't believe me? Here they are.
We would have preferred Assad go 2 years ago, last year, 6 months ago, 2 months ago. Assad needs to go. He is no longer legitimate, and that he needs to go.
Assad has to go.
Yeah, this is the man that was going to bring peace to the Middle East. You remember him, huh? One lie after another. Here we go. March 5th, not too long ago. Military pressure particularly may be necessary given President Assad's unwillingness to negotiate seriously, Kerry said. Seriously? Because you just said everybody agrees there is no military solution. There's only a political one. That was yesterday. They're sick. They're out of their mind. Gets worse. Policy remains same and is clear. There is no future for Assad in Syria. Barked State Department spokeswoman Marie Harf. Add them up. Add them up. Libya, Ukraine, Russia, Syria. One losing U.S. military diplomatic strategy after another. And they still get away with it. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's Trends in the News.